All right, Stars fans. That was a much better outcome than what we got against Toronto. Dallas Stars take on the Boston Bruins in Game 13 of the season. We start off each video with predictions from the last video. Quinn, you said if Dallas were to come on top, you predicted a score of 3-2. Not quite the score. You predicted if Boston were to come on top, it was going to be 5-2, which at the beginning of the game seemed like it could have been what the score was going to be. I predicted if Dallas were to come on top, it would be a score of 4-2, a little closer to what the outcome was. I said if Boston were to win, it would be 3-1. So, right off the bat, Dallas Stars play the Boston Bruins, and the biggest story each time we play the Boston Bruins is the Tyler Seguin trade. And why do we always know about this? Because every time we play Boston, we get a Tyler Seguin trade montage at the beginning of every Stars game that just reminds us that this is how the superstar came into our organization. Now, I'm not really bothered by it, but I think most hockey fans know these days that Tyler Seguin was acquired from the Boston Bruins in that blockbuster, what was it, a 5-person trade? I mean, we got...
Seven players.
Seven, oh, that's right, because a lot of people forget about Rich Peverley. Rich Peverley was included in that trade. Granted, Rich Peverley is not playing anymore, and he's part of the scouting staff now with Dallas. But we sent Louis Eriksson, which to this day, I still wish we had Louis Eriksson. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the later bit of the video. And we sent away Riley Smith as well, which to this day, I still wish that we had on our roster. I mean, Riley Smith has really, since that trade, come out and has really proved to be a real grinder of a player. Somebody that plays with a hard nose and can really go to those hard areas. But he now subsequently plays for Florida now, and we saw him earlier in the season in that season series that actually saw him get a goal in Dallas. So the thing that I want to talk about right off the bat is me and you, Quinn. We've been Stars fans since the very beginning. Ever since the Stars came, we've been on the Stars bandwagon. We've been preaching the word of the Stars for God knows how long now, to deaf ears, because you know what, this is cowboy land, and everybody lets you know about that when they talk Stars. But as of right now, when you talk about the great players of Dallas Stars franchise, you have to talk about now, I mean, he has to be in consideration, Tyler Seguin. Where, as of right now, where do you see him in the Stars franchise, and what future potential does he have? Because remember, he's only 23, and I believe his contract still has him going up into 2018, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Didn't check the numbers. So, again, where do you see him in the franchise right now and his future potential?
I'm almost fairly certain that him and Ben will be longtime Stars for their foreseeable future.
I agree.
I don't see the Stars ever getting rid of the two of them with what the two of them bring to the Stars as of right now.
I do see Dallas as seeing Jamie and Tyler as their Taves and Kane. You know, Chicago is never going to let those two go, and I clearly think that Dallas is going to treat them as a Taves and Kane. Now, we know how important he is, but when you put him into the likes of the names of Mike Modano. Mike Modano was a superstar as soon as he got here. Tyler Seguin, a superstar as soon as he got here. And now in this game, he goes and gets a hat trick and ties Mike Modano for the franchise record at 6 as a Dallas Star. Tyler Seguin has 7, one with Boston. When you're comparing him to Mike Modano, do you think that Tyler Seguin, if he stays around as long as Modano does he beat all of Modano's records, or do you think, or possibly Jamie Benn could beat all of Modano's records? But I mean, Jamie Benn,
that's a tough call to say.
Okay, do you see Tyler Seguin as a 500 goal scorer with the Dallas Stars?
With the Dallas Stars?
Yes.
I want to say yes, but you know, it is a new NHL out there. It's not as nit and gritty as it is.
It is the salary cap era. I
could see him becoming more of a 600 goal scorer, in my opinion.
Okay, is that just in his career, or do you think in Dallas Stars he goes and beats Modano's record? Because Modano has points. He has points, goals, and assists. I think he leads in all offensive categories. So, I mean, what category do you think stays with Mike Modano, and what leaves with Tyler Seguin?
I feel the goals would probably be the big one that would go.
Okay.
I think the points and assists stay with Modano, but I do see Benn overtaking that eventually.
You know what? I would actually agree with that, because Jamie Benn is on this meteoric rise in the NHL. Granted, was Jamie 26 now, and Tyler is 23. So Jamie has 3 years on Tyler, but at this rate, Jamie, his points are just going to keep going up, and who knows? Jamie Benn might be a Dallas Star to get 100 points in a season. I could see that happening.
Yeah, if he keeps this up, definitely.
Now, this game was really a tale of two vastly different games when you go back and you rewatch some of the replays and everything. Let's start off with the you know what, let's already dive right head first in with goaltending. Kari Lehtinen has been kind of, over the past season and a half and some of this season, Kari Lehtinen's name has not been the best of names. Like, when you talk to a lot of Stars fans as of lately, it's when Kari Lehtinen is in the game, we're almost more surprised now that he's making big stops, and we're not as surprised as him letting in those soft goals as we saw on the first career NHL goal from Boston's Miller, which, another thing that really just annoys the hell out of me, and I don't know if you have the same annoyance with it, but doesn't it just annoy you whenever a player gets his first NHL goal against your club? It just seems like, really, why couldn't we just hold him just one more game and let him get his next goal next game? I mean, stuff like that truly bothers me. Granted, it's probably really stupid, but it really grinds my gears whenever I hear stuff like that.
I mean, it's never really bothered me. I mean, it's eventually going to happen. It sucks that it happens to your team, but I mean, those chances are always going to come.
Right, I just always hate having that our team will now be a trivia question against who did so-and-so get their first goal against. And the Dallas Stars will always be remembered as Connor McDavid's first goal. That goal bothered me a lot for some reason. I really did not want the Dallas Stars being the first team to give up a goal to Connor McDavid. But
yeah, well, Connor McDavid's going to be out for quite a long time now.
Well, speaking of, we can jump. I mean, since we're still really staying in the first period here, how about that freak accident with Chris Kelly? I mean, what did you?
I don't even know. I don't know how you even fractured your femur. It was the femur, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I know it was like, one of the leg bones. The
strongest bone in your body to break.
Off such an innocent play.
Yeah, that accident did it. Like, I don't get it.
Like, at first, whenever you look at it, the replay, like, if you saw the replay and you didn't, like, see, like, a super slow-mo or anything like that, it almost looked as if Sevier kind of tapped him in the back of the leg or something like that. And I honestly thought it was gonna be a penalty on Sevier for tripping. But then when you look at the replays, I mean, Sevier's stick just brushes Kelly's leg. So Sevier is in no blame for what happened to Kelly. But you know what? Sometimes your body just goes, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out. And then something like that just happens. Your leg just breaks for some reason. I mean, these things happen even to professional athletes, that your body could twist.
I've only known 2 people in my life to have broken their femur. And it was because of a car accident that flipped 12 times and somebody got hit by a car.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's the strongest bone in the human body, and it takes an enormous amount of pressure to really just, even crack it. And for that, he must have twisted at such the wrong angle at the wrong time to put that kind of stress on that, to where he immediately goes down and he's like, nope, not getting up off this one. That was crazy scary to see, and all good vibes go out to the Bruins that he makes a good, healthy recovery.
Yeah, they're saying like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, something like that. That was tough to see, because everyone was just so puzzled about, it's like, oh, what the hell just happened? I mean, you'd sit there and you talk to some fans and they're like, well, is that a penalty, or did he fall down wrong? It just looked really, really weird.
Like, at first I thought it was probably just going to be like an MCL or an ACL or something with his knee.
You know what? It looked like it was going to be like a ligament tear. Like a twist like that tends to be a ligament tear. But a full-on bone fracture, that's just weird. But continuing in the first period, after Sagan got his first goal off a twisted wrister, we see Boston answer with Miller's first career NHL goal. And then it looked like Boston was really taking it to the Stars. It really looked like as if right on cue. I mean, it's like Dallas just flipped the switch and said, okay, we're just gonna not play as well, even though, I mean, Dallas is a notorious terrible bad back-to-back team. Whenever they play back, I don't think they won a single game on the second game of back-to-back all of last year. Don't quote me on that. If they did, they might have won 1 or 2 games if they did win. But they are notorious for being really, really bad at the second game of a back-to-back. So it just looked like another game that Dallas didn't want to play in. And then you see the soft first goal that Kari just completely bumbled on. And then you see the shot from the point from Krug that Kari tries to, like, it looked like he was trying to catch it with his chin for some damn reason. And then he does this little twisteroo that takes him completely out of the play, and Louis Eriksson gets his first, or not his first, but the first of the game off the power play. Now, Kari has seemed to have given up pretty soft goals, but what did you think of the defense in the early on game?
Well, I mean, I think everybody played a pretty good, solid first period, except our center iceman. It seemed like we couldn't win a face-off to save our life for like 10 minutes there.
No,
and thus we're getting all these chances, and it's just like, are we ever gonna stop giving it to their point so they can shoot?
Yeah, we got killed in the face-off. I think the total face-offs was 39-27. Now that's a lot closer than it actually really seemed, because in the first period and a half, Boston was unbeatable in the face-off dot. Only in like the later part of the game did Dallas really start waking up and start winning some face-offs. But we see that goal by Louis Eriksson in the second period, like as time is dying down, and we see that soft goal go in, and it pretty much had this signal of, oh, well, here's 2014 Dallas. That's the team that showed up for the game, especially with the way Kari was handling the puck in the first. But Kari decided to calm down, tried to attack the puck a little bit, and really calm down after that second goal went in. And it seemed like old Kari came back to play. It looked like he had something to prove, that, he can come in and be a competent goalie. We don't need to start... He still wants Niemi to feel competition, which is great for Dallas, because as of right now, there still needs to be competition for the goalie spot. It's something that, I would be thrilled if there was still competition going on even in like game 60. I think competition is only going to make these guys better. And you know what? Niemi doesn't want to sit on the bench as much as Kari does. So, you know what? Kari comes in and plays like that. Granted, he still gave up 3 goals, which his goals against is now 3 on the season, which needs to be cleaned up. But as of right now, Kari came in. He was shaky, but settled the boat. How'd you feel about Kari's game overall?
I had flashbacks to last season, so that should say it. But he definitely came out and played a better game. Just a bunch of soft goals, and you could definitely tell on that third goal how tired the Stars were.
Oh, absolutely.
And you see it because like all 3 of the forwards just happened to be on the same side.
Yeah, and left
sprung like 3 people into the zone. So
left old Louis off to his lonesome to just.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much a slam dunk. Well, yeah, I know it was pretty, but it was pretty much a slam dunk. And going into the second period, we start to see Dallas taking penalties. This is something that Dallas has to desperately clean up. Dallas's special teams is a two-sided coin, because with the penalty kill, we don't know what we're going to get. It seems as if right now this is a bottom 6 penalty kill. But with our power play, it is a top 3, top 2 power play, as we see with 3 power play goals in this game. But Boston had a couple of power play goals as well, and that proves as to why they were number 1 in the power play, because they did not need a lot of time on their power play. Because, I mean, granted, we didn't need a lot of time on our power play either, so it was... Dallas needs to focus more on playing with speed instead of getting frustrated, because a lot of penalties that Dallas has been taking are frustration penalties. They're retaliation penalties. You know, because we saw with Goligoski that he gets outplayed and he gets frustrated and then takes a stupid penalty, something that, quite frankly, he doesn't need to be taking. So it's the power play is off and running, and I think when the power play is clicking, I don't think any team can really stop Dallas, especially the first unit. But it's the penalty kill is what scares me a lot, because they are getting scored on their penalty kill a lot. What do you think the penalty kill needs to shore up?
I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong on a power play. I mean, I think they're doing good. It's just they're catching a lot of bad breaks. You know, like, there's been a whole lot of tip-ins, which has been the problem with that fifth guy just skating right in front of the net. And, you know, he just sticks the stick out, defensemen know to shoot for it, and it goes in. Some of them can't be helped, and then some of them can be helped with positioning.
No, yeah, that's true. But I don't know. As of right now, I don't really know what to say to the Dallas Stars penalty killing, other than stop taking penalties. That's the only thing. It's the second or third game in a row that they have 8 minutes in penalties, and it costs them dearly. Granted, I mean, Boston had 8 minutes in penalties too, and, you know, Dallas was able to cash in on it. But a lot of the times, the Stars aren't going on the power play as much as the other team is, because Dallas is taking terrible penalties at terrible times. It kills their momentum. So that's one thing that I would love to see the Stars start to really clean up, is to be a little more level-headed and not take as many penalties as they've been taking. Now let's talk about, since I really like your opinions on defense, how about Yoki Paka's first goal?
I think the only thing I can say about it is what Razor said. I think you said it the best, is the Dallas Stars have only lost 1 game this entire season so far with Yoki Paka Bennett being in the lineup.
I know.
Let's learn from this, and let's not change anything that's not broken. That's how I feel about it. Well,
granted, it has seemed the only time that he is coming out of the lineup is because he is looking like the worst defenseman on the ice. So it really seems as if he's coming out of the game because it's like a little jolt to really start cleaning up his messes defensively. Granted, I don't think he has a ton of messes to really clean up, all that per se, but it does seem whenever things start going wrong, it is on that third pair. No, Jordy's not a saint or anything like that, but Yoki Paka really is getting the brunt of what the defensive mistakes truly are, because he's the one that's always coming out of the lineup. So it was good seeing that he got his first goal, and hopefully, like you said, the Stars have only lost once when he's in lineup, so hopefully he'll stay in the lineup and become a little more consistent and works harder to stay in the lineup. But Let's also talk about a defenseman that has stayed in the lineup, and deservedly so. Let's talk about John Klingberg. Now, John Klingberg pretty much came out of nowhere last season. What were your initial thoughts at the end of the season for Klingberg, and what are your thoughts on Klingberg in Season 2?
I mean, he proved himself to be a good rookie defenseman. He definitely seems like a defenseman that the Stars are going to try and build around. I like the idea, but I kind of think that they should wait to start initiating him as the next top-tier defenseman until he gets a little more experience under his belt. Because, as you see, he's still prone to making those same rookie mistakes. I feel like with just maybe a year more experience, then he'll really start to improve to the defenseman that this Dallas Stars is looking for him to be.
Now, what I would love to see him improve on is his weight and his strength. He is still so tiny. And we saw last night, the slightest little bump can knock him off the puck. I mean, he's good and strong in possession, but when things starts getting physical, it doesn't seem like he's stronger than the other player, which will be a problem. And
yeah, I definitely agree.
Although he does have those twinkle toes, because we see him dance on the blue line. It seems like he has that one go-to move that just baffles the defenders, and it's great having him do that on the blue line. But I think weight and strength really need to be improved in his game. So, what rating do you give the Dallas Stars in the Boston game?
I'd say I give him a solid A ranking.
Okay, an A.
I was going to give him an A+, but their goaltending is still shaky. We seem to be in a trend to where we give up 3 goals a game, and no matter what kind of offense you have, if you keep letting in 3 goals a game, your offense isn't always going to be there to bail you out.
No, that's very true.
As we saw in Toronto.
No, that's a prime example. Prime example. The rating that I gave is a B, not a B+ or a B-. I'd say it was a good B because of defense and the penalty killing. Now, we touched on it earlier in the video that they need to shore up their penalty killing or just not take as many penalties. If this team continues to give up 3 goals a night, this offense cannot keep pace with that. There are going to be teams that can shut down offense and can play gritty. And we saw yesterday, or 2 days ago, against the Maple Leafs, if you find a hot goaltender, you can't beat them. So 3 goals against you is brutal. So I gave him a B. With that, predictions for the next game against the Carolina Hurricanes. What will yours be?
Well, it's been the trend with the worst teams in the league, as y'all call them, trap games, has proven to be the hardest fought games for us. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if Dallas wins, it's going to be 3-2. And if Carolina wins, I feel it's going to be another turnout like the Toronto game.
Well,
but it'll be
remember
3-1.
Remember last year, Carolina beat the Stars pretty bad. I
know. That's what I'm getting into, and because they're one of the worst teams in the league right now.
So, what was your...
It seems like those are our hardest fought games.
So you said if Carolina... You said 4-1?
3-1.
3-1. All right. I think if Dallas comes on top, it will be on the back of offense. It will be the score of, I'm going to say 4-1, because I don't believe in Carolina's defense and their goaltending. I think their goaltending is still pretty shoddy, even though they have Ward still there. He's been there forever, but I see him on the decline. If Carolina wins, I'm going to say the score is 4-2. So, there you have it. Game 12 in the books. It was the Tyler Sagan Show. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share on any and all social media. Tell us what we did wrong. Tell us what we did right. Tell us what you want to hear. Until next time,